get your laughing muscles ready, warmed up. Yeah. Well, no.
Do you record this?
I listen to my music on Apple Music now instead of Spotify. But the thing is that I came from the Spotify environment where the music and the podcasts are all in one place.
Yes.
So silly me thought, oh, the podcasts must be in Apple Music too, and they're not.
They aren't.
They're in a completely separate app.
It's really nice.
And once I figured that out, it was like, oh, okay. Hopefully they've ported that over to Apple CarPlay, and they have.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the end of that. So I just fired it up. Yeah, so I'm listening to, I don't know if you've heard of this podcaster.
Did you know that there's 500,000 to 1 million new podcasts every year?
Not a surprise.
Yeah, so...
Podcasts are the new blogs.
The one you're going to say, I've never heard of it.
Well, maybe.
Okay.
Smartless.
Nope.
Okay. I only heard about it because I had read about it numerous times on other media.
Sure.
It was a project put together by Jason Bateman,
you talked about
Arnett,
this before. Right.
and Sean Hayes.
Right.
They started it up as a project to overcome the fact that nobody could do anything together during COVID. So they basically Zoomed with each other while talking about shit, and then decided we should interview people and just have them on another Zoom. But their shtick is each person takes their turn inviting a guest, and the other two don't know who it is until they reveal. It's entertaining. So that's what I've been listening to. Yeah, it's given me inspiration about our podcast, because I see that we're kind of, establishing our own kind of rhythm and our own kind of little trademark things that we do during each episode, with the music and the themes and the book review, and sometimes we talk about other entertainment things like music or movies or whatever. Mm-hmm. I would like to talk about music a little bit this time around.
No.
All right, fine.
I'll
wait till he leaves. Oh, it's not over.
Make your own podcast. I only listen to comedy podcasts, and it's usually only ones when it's a guest that I want to.
Mm-hmm.
But Your Mom's House, or The Honeydew, or...
These are names of podcasts?
Yeah.
Your Mom's House.
Yeah.
Sounds intriguing.
It's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
Harlan Williams, his podcast is wild. Bad Friends. Yeah, I don't really listen to anything else.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah, and it's even rare that I watch. And I watch them. I don't listen to podcasts, I watch them. It's so much more engaging than just listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, because if I'm going to listen to something, it's usually an audiobook.
Right.
Because it's pure subject matter that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
But, not always. But.
Yeah.
But that's where I got all my inspiration as well, is what I liked or disliked about the comedy podcasts, all based around, just what I like what I think people like listening to, and based on how many people watch or subscribe to those podcasts because of the different things that they do. But
cool.
All right, music. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, we're not there yet.
We're not. Well,
we're not there yet.
We need the right time.
First, we need to do the episode 30. This is episode 30. Welcome to episode 30.
Begin.
Yes, exactly. Did you get any feedback about how we ended the last one?
I did.
And?
Laughter.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, episode 30 of... What the hell was that? What are you doing?
I'm practicing to play a didgeridoo.
Do you own a didgeridoo?
Yeah, I got cardboard tubes in.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, we do that all the time. We do that all the time.
No, I do not.
As soon as the paper towel roll is empty, one end goes to the mouth and it's like, do.
Yeah, I usually beat my child with it, like a sword.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. We have swords. Like, not real swords, foam
Jesus
swords, but
Christ.
still, they look real.
Why are you one-upping my story? Does it feel
not-
good to do that?
I'm not doing it on purpose.
Well, check yourself. Check your privilege.
All right. Do you want to? Do you have anything to report on the book side of things? It's not a trick question.
I don't know if I want to talk to you about it now. You're just going to tell me how much better your book is. I'm just trying to think about, like I can't remember what I said last time, but
Well, you were
After the-
traumatized.
about how awful
Yeah,
that fucking
yeah.
book was. Yeah, right. And then I read, because I said that I just wanted something just real
Yeah.
bubblegum
Right.
to read. So I did. It was a sequel. So it's a 6-part series. And the books are short, and it's a post-apocalyptic world about a dude and a lady. Originally it was trying to find this lady's son, and it's just violent, and it's ridiculous.
Does it have a name?
The Voyager, no, is it the Voyager series? Each one of the books has got a name, but they're only single words like
Right.
wall or canyon
Right.
or shit like that.
Yeah.
By a guy named Tom Abrahams, and they're not good, but they're fucking great. You read it and you're like, oh, I can't stop reading this. So I read 4 of those. You just eat through them because there's nothing to them. And then I started the second book to a series that I read. I started a while ago by the author Greg Iles. It's the Bone Tree trilogy. It's about some racists in the Mississippi and Louisiana, and
There's racists in the Mississippi?
there's a couple, 1 or 2.
One or two.
Not many. And it's just a tangled web of mystery, general fiction. Yeah, but I can't stop reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I'm reading now.
This is a little bit of a detour, but speaking of racists in the southern states, did you ever see the series True Detective?
No.
I highly recommend it. It's pretty amazing.
I've heard of it, but
Yeah.
but
No,
I
it
never
was
watched it.
It was really deep, like
Cool.
serious. Gave me a whole new perspective of both Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, that show.
And I was just like, what the hell, man? Like, wow. Because they acted the shit out of that series. Yeah, yeah. Kind of put them in a whole new,
Mhm.
realm. No, it was really good. I can't wait to watch the next one when it's made available on streaming. So that's it, eh? That's your book
That's it. Yeah,
report?
I've only read 5 books in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, no,
That's it, eh?
No big deal.
I finished that. I can't keep up with that. I finished the Children of Time,
Oh yeah, right.
and I was gonna start the second book, but then I made the mistake of starting to read reviews about the
You
second book,
Boob.
and they weren't bad. That's not what made my mind up. It's none of the reviews were bad about the second or even the third book.
Mhm.
It's just that someone who wrote the review, like they were trying to be as neutral and as fair as possible, said, look, if you really enjoyed the first story, you're probably going to like the second one too, because it's basically the same thing, just with different players.
Mm-hmm.
Same arc, same idea, same kind of shit happens, and you're kind of curious to see how it's all going to work out, and it all works out basically the same as it did in the first book. So if you're looking for something unique about the second go-round, you're going to be disappointed. And I thought about that for about 30 seconds, and I thought, no. If I'm going to continue this series, I want new story, not rehash of the original story. So I just said, no, moving on, because, you know, there's a lot of other books that I can be reading. And so I took a detour into another potential series, but started off with Revelation Space by Alastair Reynolds, another British author. And so this one's a little harder, you know, the kind of story where you have to kind of almost reread some passages to sort of get everything you need to get out of it, because it's a little bit harder science, a lot more going on, a lot more reading between the lines. So it's a much slower read for me. Yeah, that's
How far into that are you?
12%.
Oh, so haven't
Yeah,
started.
no, barely. And there's a lot of jumping around in the story too, so that doesn't
It's going to
help.
be a long, intense world-building series.
Yeah,
That's what I find with books, that the first book just bounces a lot and establishes characters and settings.
yeah.
It's
and
like, this is going to be intense.
the problem, unfortunately, is that it's not just establishing characters. The whole culture of society
Right.
is way different from anything our mind could easily latch onto, unless maybe you're a fan and a regular reader of what's his name, who started to make cyberpunk stories.
The necromancer?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Yeah.
the author's name.
Yeah, but you know who I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, if you're reading his stuff, then this might be considered lighter reading.
Right.
But if you've never written any or if you've never read anything that hard, then it's a bit of a struggle, because there's a lot of shit going on and not a lot of explanation at first as to
Right.
what's that all about, what's this all about. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it'll be interesting to see how the book goes, and whether it becomes an enjoyable read or not. This episode's topic,
More food.
the name of the episode is Between Bread.
Between bread.
Yeah, Between Bread.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, you called it Sandwich Chat. That just seemed too obvious to me. But you know, I did put them both out there, so let them decide.
How?
Which
what?
title? Huh? What?
How could they possibly do that?
Well-
You're going to title it first, and no one's going to comment.
Oh no, eh? Okay.
Who comments?
I don't know. On YouTube, I think you get a couple.
Do
Maybe.
you?
Yeah.
Have you checked?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not lately, but
Okay.
I've checked.
Yeah. I know it exists.
No, we decided we were going to talk about sandwiches. Sandwiches we like, sandwiches
Carl thought I
we
was
don't
fucking
like.
retarded when I suggested it.
I did?
You did. Let's not pretend. Oh, we can talk about that for 10 minutes.
Well, no, I
Here.
did. Yeah, okay. So
Fucking-
did that sound like I said it was retarded?
Yes.
No, it
Yeah.
sounded like I didn't think we had enough material to talk for, a full episode about sandwiches. And then you reminded me, quite firmly that, well, you talked for 40 minutes about burgers, so, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, point taken.
I'm not fucking retarded, Kyle.
Yeah, I
I almost called you Kyle, so I'm glad I didn't.
know.
That'd be pretty fucking retarded.
So, what do you like?
Sandwiches.
What kind?
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
What kind are your favorites?
That's a stupid question. Because there's no right or wrong answer. Sandwich is a...
Well, like, there's sandwiches you like, and then there's sandwiches you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to enjoy this.
I do not know if that is the truth.
Really?
Yeah, there's not... I don't think there's a sandwich I don't like.
Yeah, but if I'm given a choice of 5 different sandwiches, I'm probably going to want one of them more than the other 4.
Yeah.
Unless I've been having that kind regularly and I'm just tired of it.
Right.
Like, well, I don't know how things are in your house. How often do you eat sandwiches?
You know, it's feast or famine.
Right.
Right now I'm in feast.
Oh, okay.
I've had a sandwich every day for the last 3 days. Which, and before that, months. And months and months.
Right.
Yeah. Before celiac disease, sandwiches were my jam. Like that, I just made them constantly and experimented and did weird things and tried. But then when I decided to adhere to the diet and bread options dried up, I didn't do so many because it just wasn't nearly as satisfying.
What kind of bread can you eat? I mean, I know gluten-free, but I wouldn't know a gluten-free loaf of bread if I tripped over it. Like, so basically any bread that's made from wheat, you probably you can't have.
No way.
So what the hell kind of bread is not made
rice
with wheat?
or
Oh God, that must taste special.
It used to be awful, but things have changed quite a bit. It's not Wonder Bread for sure, but it's very passable. Like it'll do. You know, it's if you want to enjoy a sandwich or a piece of toast or something, then yeah, it's good.
See, as much as I was raised on plain white bread growing up, once I was living on my own, and especially once I met Darlene, I wanted to try other breads.
Sure.
So, you know, rye, pumpernickel, the kind with grains in them, whatever, you know, everybody's got their own name for them or whatever. Except that, you know, I find that those kinds of breads are only suitable for certain types of sandwiches, certain types of fillings. Like, I mean, if you're going to have a Montreal smoked meat sandwich, you've got to have it on a rye bread or a pastrami or something like that. Whereas if I'm having like just sliced roast ham, I'll take it on white bread, but I would prefer it on, you know, a rye or a pumpernickel or a sourdough or something like that. So, but yeah. So you don't have any like super favorite sandwiches? If I give me your top 5, I love this sandwich.
Yeah. Okay. Well, grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jam. Peanut butter and banana.
My mom was into that, but I never got into it.
The banana's got to be a little bit old.
Well, yeah, because it's sweeter. The riper it is, the sweeter it is.
Don't fucking tell me how I like my bananas and what.
No, I'm just trying to suggest why I think you like them older.
You don't need to suggest. I'm a grown-ass man. I know what I like in a banana. It's the potassium, you dick.
And the sugar, apparently.
It's the sugar. I love it.
You're being mean. What else?
Just a plain old deli meat kind of sandwich.
Yeah. Bologna?
I do love bologna. A toasted bologna sandwich.
Toasted?
Fuck
oh,
yeah.
God.
It's the only way to do a bologna sandwich is toasted.
I don't know. That just doesn't ring appetizing for me. But that's me.
Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to mix it up, only toast one side of the bread and put the toasted bit in the middle, like facing inside. Ooh. So you get the soft bit when you bite into it and it doesn't cut the roof of your mouth and just...
Yeah, well, for what it's worth, even anything that I do like toasted, I don't like it super toasted. Like, I prefer it as... No, like, scrape the roof of your mouth too rough toast. I don't like that.
Right. Karl doesn't like rough.
Dark toast.
Dark toast. Cool. Racist. It's toasty and kind of dark.
Do you like any deli meat that has bits of other things mixed into it? Like, you know, this fucking pimento loaf or any of that shit.
No,
me neither.
No, I don't think anybody does.
My mom.
Those who did are dead or dying.
Forced to eat it as kids.
Yeah, but dead or dying.
Right.
Because nobody's forced to eat that shit anymore. No.
I was.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had to have it a couple, or like shitty processed meat with like chunks of cooked macaroni in it.
Oh God, never had that. Thank
Vile.
God.
Vile.
Oh,
And it probably tasted fine. It was just
the idea.
Yeah, the visual was just.
Why would you put pasta in my sandwich? Yeah.
Oh God.
Do you like the salads, like the chicken salad, egg salad, tuna
Yes.
salad? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like curry chicken salad. I like southern chicken salad. I don't have enough ingredients to make a good chicken salad, so I'm just it's fucking mayonnaise and meat.
Tuna?
With some tuna is the
Tuna
most,
is my number one.
Yeah, it's
Period.
an incredible
And
sandwich.
Stop. Yeah.
Tuna salad is an art
Yeah.
because you can make it bad,
Mm-hmm.
you can make it glorious.
My
And you can have it in
mom
so
set
different
the
ways.
standard for tuna salad.
Okay.
She didn't necessarily make the best kind of tuna salad, but in my mouth it was like, oh my God, this
Right.
is like fucking, this must be what God serves in heaven or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
if
mom's
there is a
job.
heaven, right?
Yeah.
She would, like some people like putting chopped up pickles in their tuna salad. Nope, get that shit away. But she did add chopped up celery and a bit of green onion. And that was fantastic because it gave it a little bit of texture, a little bit of crunch, and probably a lot more mayo than it needed.
Oh, okay. It's like spackle.
Except because we weren't rich, she didn't use mayo, she used Miracle Whip, which made it even, kind of sweet. If I'm making it, I definitely make it with mayo, but I took the cue from her in terms of how much to actually put in it, because you get a tuna sandwich, you get a tuna salad sandwich at like a store or a restaurant, or, like a sandwich place, it's not going to have a lot of
It's not gonna have enough.
creaminess to it. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a bit on the dry side. Don't like that.
Yeah, I like pickles, or pickle juice if I'm not in the mood for pickles.
Mm-hmm.
Like to chop them up. Sometimes some red onion. Louisiana hot sauce. Sometimes salt, pepper, or a good old tuna melt.
Yeah, tuna melts are the best. Yeah, so good.
You only got a couple extra minutes. Just fucking put that chicken salad on a piece of bread. Yep.
I'm a big club sandwich guy,
Oh man. Yes.
but don't give me anything that you sliced off a fake processed roll of any kind. Don't be putting ham in it. Club sandwiches aren't supposed to have ham. They're supposed to have some kind of actual pulled poultry. Be it chicken, turkey, whatever. Makes no difference. But, not like pressed turkey loaf that's been cut into slices.
Right.
It's like, something that would, a homemade club sandwich.
Yeah, sliced turkey breast.
You got it.
Or chicken breast.
Yeah.
With bacon.
Oh, yeah. It's gotta have
Bacon, tomato, lettuce,
Yep.
3 pieces of bread,
Mm-hmm.
and a fucking toothpick.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not an animal. Yeah, I remember getting into club sandwiches. I was probably 20 something. Because parents, you'd go to a cafe or something, and your parents would always get one.
Right.
Right? And you'd just be like, you fucking old farts. Like, I'm going to get a hamburger. 'Cause
Right.
that's what you did. And then I was like, I'll try one of those. And then it was, get out of my way. Club
Well,
sandwiches are the best.
I don't know what it was, and I don't know if it's a cultural thing between different parts of the country. But like, I grew up in the outskirts of Montreal. The typical local restaurant, sit-in and take-out, they all offered pizza, barbecue chicken, and club sandwiches. Now, they offered other things too, but those were the top 3 go-tos. To the point where there would be mountains of large, round, aluminum foil takeout containers, the kind that you put the circle of cardboard on the top and then fold it over the aluminum foil over the top. And they had the whole club sandwich thing down to an art, because they'd make the sandwich, they'd cut it into 4 triangles, and then arrange them around with a bunch of home cut fries in the middle, and then a little serving of coleslaw. But again, because I grew up in Quebec, the only coleslaw I was privy to was oil and vinegar style coleslaw, not creamy coleslaw.
Right.
And it was good.
Yeah.
And then there were whole chains of restaurants that built their business on two of those three common things, the chicken and the club sandwich. Saint Hubert, which is Quebec's version of Swiss Chalet, which is why Swiss Chalet never made it into Quebec, because Saint Hubert chicken pretty much saturated the market, and there was no way you were going to shake them from that particular niche.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I always equated the club sandwich with fresh home-cut fries and oil and vinegar coleslaw. So when I ended up in Kingston, Ontario, and after I met Darlene, we found this hole-in-the-wall Greasy Spoon restaurant right in downtown Kingston called Morrison's. It had been there since probably like World War One. And they made, I have yet to find a restaurant-made club sandwich as good or better than theirs. It was unfrickin' believable, along with the fries. Come out here, and it's like nobody makes that shit. Or if they do, it's like an abomination where, you know, they substitute the chicken with ham or whatever.
They used to. They used to be a lot more common.
But not anymore.
No, because everything's a chain out here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right. Everything's a chain. There's not. That reminded me of what I add to my what I add to my sandwiches to make them my favorite, which would be potato chips.
Yeah, I love chips with my sandwiches.
In my sandwich.
Oh, in the sandwich?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
It is glorious.
Yeah.
Yep.
I prefer it as a side.
It'll be either plain potato chips or the most tart salt and vinegar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Darlene's a big salt and vinegar fan.
Do you butter your bread before you put other things on it?
Unlike Darlene, no. She insists on putting butter, even if it's going to then have peanut butter put on the bread. She'll butter it first. Mm-hmm. And I just look at her like, what? But yeah, it's got to have butter on it. Even if there's going to be mayo or whatever, it's got to start with butter. And to me, that's just, I don't know, too much?
It's delicious.
Oh, of course it is.
I don't do it. But it is absolutely delicious when you do. But if you get surprised by some grandmother making you a sandwich and you take a bite and you're like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's butter.
Yeah.
And I'm licking off the roof of my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I almost burst into laughter when you mentioned the pickle or the pickle juice in the tuna salad, because there's one thing about sandwiches, period, that Darlene cannot stand, and it's having been in contact with or been degraded in any way with pickle or pickle juice. And a lot of places like putting pickle as a garnish, or they'll take a fucking spear of it and just like throw it on top of the sandwich and then drive a toothpick through it so that it, you know, basically tunnels the juice right down into your sandwich. She hates that. She hates the sandwich getting soaked in the pickle juice, because now all you've got is this soggy mess that tastes like pickle. So whenever we're out and we're getting any kind of a sandwich in like a, you know, a place other than Subway or whatever, where they constantly use pickle either as a garnish or a topping, we have to go out of our way to tell them, no, don't even think about pickles when you're making this sandwich, or we're sending it back. But it's just so funny because she can't stand it. She cannot stand it. And it's not that she doesn't like pickles, because if we make homemade grilled cheese sandwiches, it's grilled cheese and a little bowl of pickles. She has the dills and I have the little bread butters.
I used to very much be the same way until even in the last couple years. And it was a thing that I picked up from my mom on like hamburgers from McDonald's, is that she would get a hamburger, she'd open it up, take the pickle out, and give it to me. Because she didn't like pickles in her hamburger.
Right.
So I just ate the pickles. So then I picked up that pickles on sandwiches were not cool.
Yeah.
Like, no, get rid of them. You gotta get rid of them. You just got to get rid of them. And I had, like I would accidentally bite into one, and just because the taste is quite
Different.
Well, it's
Pronounced.
It's pronounced.
Yeah.
I would then stop and take it out, but I never really gave it a chance. And then I did, and I was like, "Oh no, this makes sense." Now I know why there are things called sandwich pickles. Mm-hmm. You put them in there, and you're like, "Holy fuck!" Makes it incredible. Mm-hmm. Changes everything up. I've been doing like the last 3 days. Every sandwich that I made in the last 3 days has more and more pickles in it.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how people get weird about what they'll put in their sandwiches. And they might put something in a sandwich under certain circumstances, but not others. Because, like, for me, the idea of sliced pickles in a burger, oh, yeah. Like, don't stop. Put lots of that in there. But on a sandwich, I'm just not into it.
Right.
I'm just not into it.
2 years ago, like they have a competition. I think I've said this before, but there was a competition about the best sandwich, and the one that won was pickles and cheese.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So good.
Yep.
So good.
Did you ever get to experience the open-faced grilled cheese, which is basically just a piece of bread with cheese on it, and then you just broil it in the oven?
Yeah, I did.
That was a big thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, I had it. It was something my mom made, and like it just wasn't anything. It was just,
right.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
it was like the poor person's.
We don't have any money.
That's right.
What that sandwich
That's right.
Is. Yeah.
That's exactly what
we can't afford for you to have 2 pieces of bread. Holy fuck. But as a kid, you're just like, this sandwich isn't very good.
Yeah, I know. Are you a stickler for real cheese versus processed cheese?
I like them both. There is a time and place for processed cheese. Mm-hmm. Like on a bologna sandwich, it definitely has a place there. Okay. Not exclusively. Right. But bologna being the most processed food and processed cheese probably being the second. I guess on white bread. Yeah. You're just like eating cancer. Yeah. The whole way through, but woo.
Well, and for me, like, I guess, and this is probably true about a lot of food, I've become a bit of a food snob due to the fact that I had to eat a lot of food that only poor people ate, or traditionally only poor people ate. Mm-hmm. And when I ventured out on my own, it was kind of, especially after I met Darlene, and she said, why would you get that kind of food when you could have this kind of food? Like... Right? Why would you have Salisbury steak when you could have filet mignon? And I'd be like, what's that? And she'd be like, oh my God, like, where the hell were you raised? And I'd be like, in a poor family. What the fuck? There was no such thing as steak with no bone or fat in it. So yeah, raised on processed cheese. But then once I saw how great real cheese slices tasted in a sandwich, it was like, yeah, now it's nothing but. But at the same time, even though we were eating like Kraft singles in our sandwiches that had cheese, and I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, my mom would just make cheese sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what I really couldn't stand. But, it's like either eat it or go hungry. Cheese whiz sandwiches.
Yeah, that ventured in a little bit. Oh, God. Yeah. Bad.
I was not a fan.
No.
But when I would go to the States to spend time with my mom's family in New Jersey, they had what they referred to as American cheese. And it was like, okay, so what the fuck is that? And it looked like processed cheese to me, but it was white instead of being orange. Yeah. And I had never seen white cheese before.
Right.
And the thing is that you could buy processed American cheese, but most people wanted to get their American cheese from the butcher, or from the deli, cut from a block. And it was always good. It was always good. But yeah, now I don't think we've had a processed sliced cheese in our house for as long as I've known her.
I bought some 2 years ago.
Yep.
I bought a package of it.
Yep.
And I gave a piece to my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I'm not eating that. And I was like, you gotta try a bite.
Right, just try it.
Just try it.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of convincing. She took a bite.
Yeah.
And the face she made was just disgusting. And her tongue hung out of her face and it fell off her tongue. She's like, I will not eat that.
Right.
Because my wife was absolutely just like, no, that's disgusting. They're gross. But I've got a place in my heart about eating like Kraft single slices by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're good.
Liverwurst.
Love it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I had it as
I'm
a
gonna have
kid.
gout.
I really grew to like it.
Yeah.
And then I remember the first time I ever tried pate.
Mm-hmm.
It was embarrassing for a lot of people, but not me. Because I took my first bite of pate and I went, hey, y'all, this is just like fancy liverwurst. And they just looked at me like I was from another fucking planet. Like, how dare you compare pate with liverwurst?
No,
you
that's
lowlife.
they're the same thing.
They are.
They're exactly the same thing.
Which, explains why I like pate. Because it's just like liverwurst, only slightly tastier. It's fancy.
I don't put it on a sandwich
Oh, I did.
because
Well,
it's
I mean,
so,
liverwurst, yes.
Yeah.
Pate, no.
Yeah, that's
Pate goes
it's a
on a
little
cracker.
much. Cracker or just on a spoon into your mouth like
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The good old Elvis Presley
Right.
fried peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Never had it.
It's just a grilled cheese sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
but with peanut butter and banana in it.
Yeah.
And it's really, really very good. You can
Mhm.
see how it killed the man. They're delicious. I recommend it. But you don't like banana on your peanut butter sandwich, so it might not be your
Thing is, I like the texture of melted peanut butter. Like, one of my go-to
Molten.
breakfast things is toasted English muffin, and then I'll spread peanut butter on it while it's still warm, and that's amazing. So a
Where you
fried
can drink the
peanut butter sandwich would probably be delicious.
It is, yeah, it really is. What about peanut butter and honey?
I have had peanut butter and honey, and I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
But the thing is, my pancreas doesn't love it that much. But I have had it. I've had it as a kid. I've had it as an adult. Yeah,
It's incredible.
it's really good. In fact, sometimes when I'm at a breakfast place, if they've got one of those dispensers where there's like 15 kinds of jam, packets all jammed in there, if I'm in the mood for something different, I'll just grab a couple of peanut butters and a couple of honeys, and I'll just basically spread that shit on the toast that came with the breakfast and have that as my side. And it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Even just honey.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Monte Cristos are good. I enjoy a
What
Monte
is a Monte Cristo?
Monte Cristo is a sandwich with Black Forest ham
Sounds good.
or
so far.
honey ham, either one. I think.
Yeah.
White cheese. It might be provolone,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
And with Thousand Island dressing on it.
Oh, right.
And or is that a Reuben? No, I think I got it. And the
Reuben's
bread,
got sauerkraut.
right?
Yeah.
And the bread is like French toast.
Oh.
Yep.
Sounds good.
It's really very, very good.
I am a huge fan of Montreal smoked meat sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Having grown up in Montreal, I mean, it was everywhere. Don't get a lot of that out here. Not anymore. There used to be a place we used to be able to get them on McLeod Trail, Cafe Metro, till they closed. And now it's like there are places that say they're serving Montreal smoked meat, but they're not. It's just pastrami, and they're just charging a little bit extra for it. So that's all I gotta say about sandwiches.
Really? You just giving up that quick?
Well, I went through my list and I've covered everything. You?
Fine. No, I'm
No?
fine, Carl. Whatever. I need to talk about it anyway.
I wanted to make time to talk about some tunes.
Oh, God. Right. Now's the time. Yeah, all right. Let's, I found something today. Alfredo Rodriguez. It's Latin jazz.
Hmm.
And the album in particular is the Alfredo Rodriguez Trio.
Okay.
And it's fucking wild. It's so smooth and good and crazy. Got a piano player that's phenomenal, a drummer that's great, and a bass player who he's fucking wild, but he also plays the guitar. Plays them both in one song. So he switches. It's fucking neat. It's neat. It's
Where are they from?
Cuba.
Okay.
So, well, the bass player's from Brazil, I guess, and the other two guys are from Cuba. So, but they are a Cuban band. Well, and I just discovered them today, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, and it is wonderful. It's super smooth. That's it. Not a lot of music on the docket lately.
Right. Oh, music's always on the docket for me.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for new stuff.
Right.
But yeah, and I'm not gonna blow my whole wad on one episode. I'll probably limit myself to 3 or 4 artists that I want to mention, and save the rest for another time.
Yeah.
Did I mention the lady from Poland?
Is that what the name of the band is?
Hania Rani? Huh? What?
Is that the name of the band?
No.
Lady from Poland?
No.
No, I don't know anything about Hania Urani.
Hania Rani, and apologies if I'm not pronouncing it properly. She's originally from Poland.
Well,
She's
yeah,
a bit of
Withers.
she's a classically trained musician, focuses on piano / synthesizer, and her music is an acquired taste. It's very
Pickles on sandwiches.
yeah, like I mean, if I was gonna try and compare her to other artists that people might have heard of, she's kind of like a chilled out Vangelis. Very, actually, cross Tori Amos with Vangelis, and that's kind of what she's like. But, like Tori Amos is very angry, very loud. Hers is much calmer, much more atmospheric. But just, her music is as much about the spaces between the notes as the notes themselves, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, man.
And the best way to be introduced to this artist is not even to listen to one of her studio albums, but to go on YouTube and look up Hania Rani, Hania Rani, Rani, live at Invalides in Paris. It's an outdoor concert, and not only is she playing notes on the synthesizer, she's also playing the synthesizer's envelope, the sound envelope itself, by tweaking the controls and everything, which is not something you see artists do very often. Mostly they set up their sounds in advance and maybe switch between sounds and then play the keyboard. She's playing the whole instrument as an instrument live, and it's really something to behold. Never mind the fact that she's got a pretty amazing voice. So that's one. You must have heard of Boards of Canada. Yeah. I'm assuming a lot of people have, but in case any listeners have not, I would direct them to the album Music Has a Right to Children, which I think is the most clever album title in the history of album titles.
It's pretty nice.
There's a lot of really solid tracks on that particular album that are fairly easy to digest, considering their genre of music, which is very electronica, a lot of noise and glitch, and you know why they're called Boards of Canada, yeah?
No.
They envisioned their music style as in being inspired by the music that used to accompany National Film Board's
Oh, yeah.
Canadian, what was those things called that would be in between?
Heritage moment?
Yeah, heritage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
the Canadian loon. You know, they'd last for like about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yep.
The music that would accompany those little vignettes
Right.
is what inspired the kind of music that they wanted to make.
That's cool.
So yeah, Boards of Canada. Music has a right to children. Start there, and if you like what you hear, branch out from there. I think a lot of people are familiar with Alabama Shakes,
Probably.
but the lead singer Brittany Howard went out on her own and produced her own solo albums.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I loved Alabama Shakes. Well, Brittany Howard on her own is even like 10 times better.
10 times.
10 times.
You hear that, people? 10.
Check out the album J'aime, or I don't know how she would pronounce it. Jaime, Jaime. But you'll probably recognize a few songs from that album. Stay High probably being the most recognizable one. Probably my favorite song of the last decade, because it's just so upbeat and emotional. It just brings us a smile to my face and a tear to my eye at the same time. It's just so good. And the last one I'll talk about this time around is Caroline Rose. She's kind of a post-punk sort of a female singer.
Mm-hmm.
Her best album is Loner. There's a couple of real gems on there.
Or James.
Some jams.
Or whatever. Or however.
Some jams.
Jaims.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, no, that was Brittany Howard.
I know.
Smart ass. I thought you were talking about jams.
No.
Come listen to some jams.
I'm not doing that.
Okay. So yeah, Caroline Rose, Loner. Check it out.
Why? What does she sound like? Post-punk.
Post-punk.
Post-punk. What?
Yeah. Sort of a...
So post-punk, like what? Country music? Or-
No, not
Well,
country.
what's post-punk?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just a label. It's a she's. I can't really do a good job classifying her music. I guess so. Post punk was the closest that I could come to. It's definitely not pop, or if it is, it's avant-garde pop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's sort of along the lines of sort of along the lines of, who else does she remind me of? Saint Vincent, but less electronic. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Because I mean, I don't know. Like, what would you classify Saint Vincent? Like, she's definitely not pop.
I don't know.
It's out there.
Well, I had no idea this was coming, so I wasn't prepared with albums to talk about to tell other people to listen to.
It's all good.
So I'm gonna
It's not
just
a
shoot
contest.
from the hip. It's
Okay.
always a contest.
Oh, okay.
We're
It's a
men.
contest.
That's what we do. Okay.
I'm gonna win anyway.
No one's heard of your music.
No one's heard it. That's the point.
No. 'Cause
No one has heard of
you're
it.
just using.
I'm bringing the
You're
spotlight
just
to them.
using
You
fucking
Nigbut.
meme genres to catch people. You probably work for a record label or some shit. You know, it's post-punk meets most modern fucking.
Speaking of memes, have
Can
you?
I?
Yeah, you.
Well, no,
you-
go ahead. What is it?
No. It's just you brought something that
I
popped
said
into
the
my
word
head. You
meme. That's all I
inspired
did.
an idea.
Okay.
Did you ever see the YouTube video? Everything is a. For
This is a
fuck's
good
sake.
story so far.
I think it's called Everything is a Copy, or Everything is a Meme. Yeah, fuck off with your little fucking
Wow.
laughter. Hang on.
Wow. And you know what, Carl? Leave it in. You don't edit this fucking
Fine,
nonsense
I will.
out.
I'm not embarrassed about it.
You should be. That's a senior moment.
Everything is
Everything.
remix. Everything is a remix, and it's produced by Kirby Ferguson. It's one of the most intriguing pieces of content I've ever seen on YouTube, because he shows how everything we've been enjoying in pop culture, whether it's music, movies, or whatever, there's nothing new. It's all sequels and copies and direct inspirations from other things that have been around forever. And, basically trying to make the point of why are we trying to hold ourselves back with stupid copyright laws when just about everything that's been made is inspired by other things that have been made previously. And I saw another episode of that series that everything is a meme, and it was fantastic because they were showing he was making some pretty good points.
What are you saying?
Your music, please.
Whatever, man.
You said you were gonna wing it, and you still.
I am winging it.
You still think you're gonna beat my suggestions?
I don't know if I am or not.
Not that it's a
Karl, I don't
contest.
care.
I know.
This first album is called Chocolate and Cheese by Ween.
Okay.
Highly recommended. Ween is an incredible band. 2 dudes. It'll be 3 dudes, but the drummer has changed. But their albums are inspired by drugs. When they make the albums, they take a specific drug, a lot of it,
Oh, really?
and then they make the album,
I didn't know that.
and it's very good.
I mean, I've heard of the band, but I didn't know that about them.
Yep. So, Chocolate and Cheese.
Okay.
They're every Ween album is different because of that.
Yeah.
Like significantly different. All fucking weird, all wild.
So what were they on when they made this album?
You know what? I don't
okay.
actually know. Chocolate or cheese. I'm not sure. I don't know. But
Chocolate and cheese.
that's the rumor I've heard. I've never
Right.
substantiated that. I have no fucking idea. But you look at Dean Ween, like that's actually his name, and he's pretty cooked. He's a phenomenal guitar player, but you know that he's seen parts of the universe.
How would you
other
describe this album to the uninitiated?
Maybe post-punk or
Fuck off. No, I think I've heard some of earlier Ween stuff.
This was
Weren't they
this
the
album's
ones that
from
made the
94.
sweater song?
What?
No, I'm thinking of someone else there.
No, what did you say?
The sweater song?
No, that's Weezer.
Oh, Weezer. Okay.
No, I don't know how you would describe. Like my second recommendation falls under the same category because I was inspired by your inability to articulate a genre of music for a band. So 2 bands popped into my head that can't be classified really, and one of them is Ween, and the second one is Primus.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
And the album would be
They've been around forever.
Seas of Cheese, yes. Seas of Cheese is a phenomenal album. Pork Soda, which comes after that, was also great. But it seems like people like Seas of Cheese more. My first introduction to them was with Pork Soda, and it was,
I remember
I
Primus.
love them now.
Primus had a hit there. Well, college
Why known
radio
as
hit.
Big Brown Beaver?
Why known as Big Brown Beaver.
Mm-hmm. They sure did. Yep. Let's see. Let's see if I can find one more.
So these 2 titles you just mentioned, are they relatively recent titles?
Oh no, they're very old.
Okay.
Chocolate and Cheese was in '94. Seas of Cheese was probably 92,
Oh, wow.
93. I clicked off it now, so I'm not exactly sure. And to go along with the inability to give them a genre, is that if you remember, like in Winamp, you still can do it with ID3 tags. You like label them and you pick the genre. The genre for Primus is Primus.
Right.
They get their own genre.
Yeah, they get their own genre. Because of course they do.
Because of course they do. They are really very, very good. Now, hold on here.
If the next album has the word cheese in it, I'm going to lose my shit.
Any album by the artist Richard Cheese. He's good. He's funny.
Isn't he the artist that kind of like takes existing songs and re-genres them? Yeah.
Yeah, he turns them to swing.
Yeah.
Or jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dick Cheese. He's great.
You You clued me into him many years ago, and I.
Oh,
took a
really?
listen. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems
I took a
like-
listen to him, and I listened to a few of his songs, and I was like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Not my thing, but yeah,
No,
I
it's
could
more
see,
funny
I
than
could see
anything.
the appeal. What about Cake?
Yeah, I was never a real big fan.
No?
But mostly because I was snobby
Okay.
with grunge music, and
Mhm.
Cake came out at that time, and they were not, but they were kind of grungy, but and it was just like, this is stupid.
Oh,
So I never really gave them a chance.
there's some songs of theirs that I just love.
I bet you, yeah, I've never really given them a chance.
My favorite song of theirs is "Tougher Than It Is," or "Rock and Roll Lifestyle." Rock and Roll Lifestyle is beautiful because it just takes the piss out of anybody who pretends to be a music fan
Right,
and is just doing it for show.
right.
It's,
Basically, like I just described
yeah,
myself.
it's
Yeah.
so good.
Okay, and the last one for me
Okay.
will be the band King Crimson
Oh yeah.
and the album In the Court of the Crimson
Oh
King.
yeah.
One of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
They're-
prog rock.
They're in the midst or have finished making a special. King Crimson. They got back together,
They did.
just fighting like crazy with each other just to try to keep it civil. Robert Fripp. Every once in a while, a Robert Fripp post gets dumped on my YouTube feed or my
Oh,
Facebook
really?
feed. Oh yeah, it's
Cool.
crazy.
That's weird.
He's been putting little clips online with his wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's insane.
Funny.
He's weird. He's good.
Well,
He's
yeah.
good though. He's good though. He's a great guitarist. He's a great The Court of the Crimson King. That was kind of way outside of my circle of musical influence growing up. I didn't discover King Crimson until later.
Right.
And it took me a while to understand just how influential they were
Oh.
of a band in their time, because I was listening to songs of theirs that were covered by other people, not even realizing they were like 21st Century Schizoid Man.
Right.
April Wine did that, and I thought, wow, this is a wicked song, totally out of the realm of what they normally do, only to find out, dumbass, it's a King Crimson song. And I'm like, what? Who's King Crimson? And I was, listen to the original and go, yeah, okay, the April Wine version is crap.
Yeah.
It's total crap. Nice try, little pop divas, but no, sorry. Your little concert tweens might like it, but back in the day, but
Concert Tweens.
concert tweens. But yeah, the original was definitely the standard by which all else shall be judged.
And that album was from 1969.
Yeah. Incredibly.
I actually, when I first heard them, I had no idea they were that old. I thought that they
No,
were
me neither. I thought they were mid-70s.
semi-modernish.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
I thought they were way even newer than that.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
Well,
Really? Right.
yeah, I didn't discover them until, I don't know when,
Mhm.
after 2000, for
No,
sure.
and remind me, because like I said, I'm not like a huge King Crimson aficionado, but I do remember Robert Fripp was in that band before he tried to be a successful solo artist. Who's the other well-known musician that was in that band? Any idea? I'm gonna find out.
Okay.
I'm gonna
In the
find
meantime,
out.
I've picked one more album just for fun.
Google. Yeah.
This band's name is Tad, and the album's name is Inhaler.
Hmm.
And it's a band, metal grunge band from the Northwest United States.
Metal grunge.
Oh man, album came out in '93, and if you like metal music at all, like not like death metal or just you like heavy rock, this album is phenomenal. It's so good. I highly recommend just checking it out.
It's a good thing. Something I was gonna say off the cuff about King Crimson, I didn't say it, because whoever knows King Crimson would have gone, "What a fucking dumbass! if I had actually said it out loud.
What?
Because I was about to say, yeah, King Crimson were about as influential a rock band as Emerson, Lake and Palmer was. Fucking Greg Lake was in
Right.
King Crimson.
Right. That's funny.
But yeah, those are the two most known musicians from the band.
Incredible.
Yeah. So that's an episode, I think.
Yeah. Turn it off.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
We got to come up with our own cute closing, though.
No,
No?
we don't.
Just end.
What? Yes, that's the cute closing. The episode is over now.
I don't know why you're talking. End.